Is Andy Ruiz still a prospect? I'm Teekosey, and this is With Just 15 Defeats. Teekosey here, and welcome to another round of With Just 15 Defeats. In this show, we're going to be talking about Andy Ruiz Jr. And his next opponent. But before we move on to that, I just want to say thanks for joining me. And if you like what you hear, click on the subscribe button. Leave any comments you have on the content of the show. And if you've got an extra 1 second whilst this video is playing, in the top right hand corner, there's going to be a short poll which is linked to the content of this video. So just click on that little live button, it's going to pop up, and just click yes or no. Done. It's within YouTube, you don't have to leave it or anything. Very, very simple. So Andy Ruiz Jr., I would still describe him as a prospect. He has a record of 26-0, 17 KOs. I will call him a prospect because of the vast majority of the opposition that he has fought so far. However, he's been a pro since 2009, so he's got quite a few years of pro experience under his belt. It's just low quality opposition. His most notable victory is against a faded Lajkovic, and he went the full 10 rounds in that matchup. And he was a former belt holder. He's also fought a couple of guys who were of a similar level to him at the time, in Joe Hanks, who was undefeated, and Torheimer, who had 21 victories, and he managed to stop both of them. And he's fought the general mix of a journeyman that you'd expect in someone who has not stepped up to this day. Now, what is Andy Ruiz Jr. like? Now, yes, he is a stocky, tubby fella. He's 6'2", but he looks a lot shorter than that. And I think it's partly the way he looks and partly the way he holds himself. He's got shorter arms than the super heavyweight, so in a matchup against any of the super heavyweight type guys, he's going to look quite a lot smaller, and he's going to be up against it. As I say, he's got a tubby physique, and in his last fight he was around about the 250 pounds, but he's been as heavy as 297. Wow. So that's an extra sixth weight, or even an extra fifth on what he is now. That's incredible to think that he's dropped that sort of weight, and he still looks in terrible shape. No offence to the lad, but he looks in absolutely terrible shape. And 250 at the moment, I saw an interview where he was talking about wanting to get down to 235. I think, in fairness, if he was able to kind of get his shape to look decent, he would probably go down to 210. Maybe less, because of the shape that he's got and the natural size. But anyway, I suppose it's not all about looking fantastic. You look at Tyson Fury, what he's achieved, even in his best shape. He wasn't ripped, he wasn't chiseled, but he was in great shape. He was in good shape, and it just got me thinking when I thought about Andy Ruiz, is that in MMA you've got Big Country Ron Nelson, who's got a massive belly, and yes, he's not achieved the great heights, but he's got some cracking victories under his belt without being in fantastic shape. But anyway, Andy Ruiz, he's got some skills. He's got a wide range of shots, but he's got terrible head movement. And he's open to shots. He takes a lot of shots, and I think that the competent boxer of a reasonable size will deal with Andy Ruiz very, very handily. So I think a lot of the top guys will have no problems with him. He was talking about wanting to fight in this interview that I saw him with. He was talking about fighting. He's been calling out Tyson Fury, and he wanted to fight Wilder. I think Wilder would have a field day with this guy. It would be so one-sided. It would be the full 12 and more if he lasted it. So anyway, so the opponent for this matchup is Ray Austin. Now, some of you may remember Ray Austin. He fought Klitschko for the title. Probably about 10 years ago. And that was his big fight. He didn't win that. He's been in the ring in recent times with the likes of Stavern, Solis, Golota, Ibrahimov, and he's won some, he's lost some. He's got a relatively decent record. Let me just click just quickly and just see what his overall record is. He's 29 wins, 6 victories. The Klitschko was a KO in 2. Quite a good KO if I remember rightly, and he's been knocked out recently by Stavern. I say recently. He's only had 1 fight in the last 5. Now this is why this is an odd one. They've obviously picked Austin, or got Austin to come out of retirement or whatever for this matchup, because they see that he might have something to test Ruiz in this matchup. But as I say, he hasn't fought for 2 years. And that was in 2014 February, and before then you're going back to 2011 against Stavern. So it's quite an odd matchup. But stylistically, I think maybe his team have selected him because they think that Ruiz should be able to deal with an old 45-year-old Austin, but the natural attributes that Austin has in size, strength, reach, may be able to start testing Ruiz as he steps up. So it will be quite interesting, but we can. The problem obviously with Ray Austin was, even in his prime, he was slow. So it's possible that Ruiz will be able to get in close and rough him up and land shots at will, coming in and out. Now, if we go on to the Stavern fight, where Austin was stopped by Stavern, it was a relatively close fight, but Austin was able to keep the distance, he was able to move away, he was able to jab, he was able to land the jab. So I think this has been selected as a learning fight for Ruiz, another learning fight. I don't think it's not going to take him on any further in terms of his actual progression, in terms of rankings and getting big fights, but he's definitely going to learn something from this fight, but only if Austin isn't completely washed up. Now, he's been in the ring for a couple of years and he had 1 fight in the last 5. He may be completely over the hill, and this may be just a one-sided, and we may even see Ruiz knock him out in one foul swing. But I decided to do a video on this because I think there's something interesting in this fight. We'll either see that Ruiz is able to fight a bigger guy, maybe even stop these sort of guys. Obviously the caliber isn't there, or we'll see that he just can't deal with it, and then he's probably going to struggle to move forward, which would be a shame, because we want all prospects to move forward to get these exciting fights down the line with undefeated, exciting guys. But I think Ruiz, he really needs to shred down, get into better shape, and work on his defence. But so anyway, I'm not sure what the result is going to be. You'd expect that Ruiz would win this and progress forward. That's what we hope. But anyway, so thanks for watching it. Hope you enjoyed the content. Just a quick video today. Remember to take part in the poll, leave a comment, click subscribe, and we'll see you in the next round.